Good morning, everyone. Actually, let me go get my coffee. Where did I put it? Give me a second. Found it. Sorry about that. Welcome to another vlog. If you are new here, my name is Sally Darr. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I vlog my life. If you're returning, that is literally so sweet of you. Today's vlog is going to include my January wrap up. So I'm going to be telling you guys every single book I read in January, my thoughts on them. That's going to be at the end of the video. First part of the video is going to be more vlog style. I'm going to be doing some bookish type activities. Some of them are genuinely just errands. So humor me. I've made a list of everything I would like to do today, and I always struggle with this. It's like, do I want to tell you guys or do I want it to be a surprise? I don't know. First things first, we need coffee, obviously. I have moved to the floor because isn't it crazy that there's going to be a bookshelf here? Not in this vlog. We're making floating shelves for this wall, and we've like bought the wood. We have a sander. We're staining it. We're doing the whole thing, and I'm really scared that it's not going to look as good as I want it to look in my mind. In a week and a half, all of these books are going to be up on that shelf. Crazy. I want to go to Dunkin Donuts and try Sabrina Carpenter's new coffee. I think it's still there. I'm pretty sure it's still there. I don't really even know the flavor. I want to say it's like a brown sugar type of thing. I don't know. And then I want to go to Ponce. Ponce is like a, how do I even describe Ponce? Ponce is like a shopping center, but it's not like a mall. It's like a cool mall. It also has apartment buildings and it has like fun restaurants. I wonder what they call it online because it sounds weird to say like shopping center. I want to go to Ponce because they have a Warby Parker in Ponce and I need to go try on glasses. Ponce City Market has other stores, so I might peruse, you know, Anthropologie. I might go into Williams-Sonoma. Who knows? It's a dangerous place. They do have some good stores in there, so maybe we'll walk around Ponce, look at a few stores. I need to go to Target for 2 reasons. Okay, one of them being I'm gonna look for a book there. I also need to get a shower curtain at Target because the guest bathroom doesn't have the shower curtain that's like on the outside of the tub. It has, you know, the see-through one that goes on the inside of the tub. We need one that goes on the outside of the tub, and I was holding off on it because I thought I was gonna sew one, and I am still wanting to sew one, but there are people coming in town and staying with us, and I'm not gonna sew something before then, and I want them to be able to shower without feeling like they're completely exposed. Also, we're gonna read a little bit in this vlog because I am not done with my January TBR, even though I am doing the January wrap up at the end of this video. I currently, in this present moment, am not done with everything that I've read in January, so I think that's enough babbling. I think we should just like get in the car and go, y'all. I don't think my camera was recording, which is so annoying, but I just ordered at the window and they have it. And I drove to so many different Dunkins before this, but they were all like inside of hospitals or businesses or something until I finally got to this one. I should have looked it up ahead of time to see which one I actually had to drive through. For some reason, it's like 60 degrees today, which is so crazy. My last vlog was literally about a snow day. Oh God, that is a really big medium. Hi. Good, how are you? Thank you. Yeah, you too. I didn't know Dunkin's mediums were basically like Starbucks Ventis. I feel like the only time I really get Dunkin is when I'm like in an airport and there's not a Starbucks in an airport. Other than that, like I'm not really going to Dunkin that often. Medium iced brown sugar shaken espresso. Oh, I didn't know it was made with oat milk. That's good news. It doesn't say her name on the menu. I thought it would say Sabrina Carpenter or like have her name on it, but it literally just says medium iced brown sugar shaken espresso. I asked for Sabrina. I said, can I have the Sabrina drink? And they gave me this. So this must be it. Oh yeah, that's good. That is good, y'all. I'm gonna be completely wired today. I am gonna go ahead and highly recommend this drink. I mean, this makes sense that I would like this because my favorite kind of oat milk creamer is always like a brown sugary kind of creamer. Next up is Ponce City Market. Do you guys want to know the lore behind my eyesight? I don't know if you guys are in the mood for this, but I guess I'll go ahead and explain it. Should I turn off my car? My car was really loud. Is something wrong with my car? I think I started wearing glasses in middle school. Like I swear it was like 6th or 7th grade. It was pretty early. I just like couldn't see the board in class. I didn't have like the worst eyesight ever. I just could not see the board. Wore contacts, glasses all throughout high school, all throughout college, out of college. But in 2019, my eyes started to hurt so bad. I went to an eye doctor out in Los Angeles. This was when I was living in Los Angeles before the pandemic. I went to an eye doctor and he was like, yeah, your corneas are scratched. Okay, your corneas are scratched because the contacts that you're wearing are the same contacts that you've worn your entire life, like since you were like 12 years old. Not the same pair of contacts, the same brand of contacts. And he was like, as you get older, your eyes change shape. So the shape of your eye is like no longer really compatible with the shape of the contact. And essentially the contact was like suffocating my eye. We need to get you a different brand of contact that, you know, fits more comfortably on your eye. But before we do that, we need to heal these scratches on your cornea. So he gave me these eye drops that were going to speed up the healing process, right? So I took these eye drops for a couple of weeks. I forget how long. Then I went back to the eye doctor and he was like, okay, great. Like your right eye or left eye, I can't remember. He was like, one eye is completely healed, but the other one, like the scratch was like a little bit worse. So we're going to have to like keep taking these drops until that one heals. I'm not going to put you in contacts until they're both completely healed. So then I had to keep taking the medicine. Is this boring? Pandemic hits, move home to Tennessee, in quarantine. I'm not going to go to the doctor. Then all throughout 2020, I was just like not doing contacts. I think in 2021, I went back to an eye doctor. He gave me like 3 different pairs of contacts to wear. They all hurt. Like none of them fit. I just didn't like any of them. And honestly, at that point, I was just so annoyed. I was like, you know what? Like, fuck this. Like, I just don't want to do it. Now it's 2025. When I went to the doctor the other day, you know those babies that you see on TikTok or Instagram Reels or whatever, and the parents put the glasses on the baby? That's how I feel when I put in contacts and glasses. Like, yeah, I'm fine without it, but also when I wear them, I'm like, you're telling me that the world is this colorful and this clear? I had no fucking clue. So I just don't know if contacts are for me anymore. My body doesn't like them. So I think I just need some glasses. That might have been like way too much information and like very boring, but going to Warby Parker to try on glasses. I'm gonna order them online, but I just thought I would go in person and try on a bunch of different styles and then go home, use my prescription, order them online. You can try them on virtually online, but I'm like, okay, if there is a Warby Parker here, I might as well just like go and try them on in person. I have had bad eyesight, but not so bad that it was like a hazard. I can still drive and I can still like do things. I just don't need to be squinting at every single thing in the distance, you know? And I just find myself doing that so often, and it's time to get glasses. So if you guys see me wearing some glasses, just know it's not performative, okay? I actually do need those. I think the Warby Parker is actually kind of like outside Ponce, but I think I'm gonna go inside Ponce first because I really have to pee due to this coffee. Sorry, I'm like so backlit right now. People ask me all the time where all of my earrings are from, and they're from Studs, and I did not realize that they had a Studs in Atlanta right here. Look. Crazy, had no clue. I think I'm done getting piercings. If I got more ear piercings, I think I would just get one more on each side, but I feel like I'm pretty satisfied with my amount of piercings. There are so many choices in that store. Like, I was so overwhelmed. There's so many pairs. I think I narrowed it down to like 3. The way I narrowed it down is I love like a little bit oversized of a frame. I like a little bit oversized round frame. And I like frames where the nose piece is just like this. I don't like the nose piece where it's like the little metal thing with the little pads that sit on your nose. I knew I wanted a pair with that specific nose piece. And I also want a pair that comes in tortoiseshell. I love a tortoiseshell, just a typical brown tortoiseshell. I was looking at the options in the store, and I was also looking at the options online and like filtering online to see like, oh, ones that come in tortoiseshell, ones with the specific frame, and then like going and finding them in the store. I feel like I got a good idea, and I took a lot of photos and videos of like pairs that I'm considering, and then I'm probably going to go online and like look at them and do the virtual try on / ask other people in my life which pairs they think I look the best in. Honestly, the 3 that I narrowed it down to are like so similar. Like, there's slight differences that I feel like if I show it to anyone, they're going to be like, all of these look exactly the same, and they wouldn't be wrong. They all are very similar. So also, there's so many add-on features. Like, you get your prescription, and then also I think you can do like anti-fatigue, like blue light, whatever. You can get transition lenses, which I'm not doing, but there's like so many different little add-ons and stuff that you can get. Maybe we'll end up ordering a pair tonight, maybe tomorrow. I don't know, but I'm gonna go home and do a little bit more research. I was in there for a while too, with nothing to show for it. I walked out with nothing. Actually, there was a girl that was in there longer than me. She was in there when I got in there, and then she was still in there when I left. I'm tempted to go into Ponce City Market and buy a candle from Anthropologie, which I don't really need to do. It's actually been a while since I've purchased a volcano candle from Anthropologie, but I feel like that's what I want. We're rewatching Broad City right now, and we're at the point where Abby works at an Anthropologie. Walking around, I'm just thinking about Abby working here. Found them. They don't come in the classic blue anymore, which I love the blue container, but I think I'm just gonna get this white one. They do have a red one, which might be good for Valentine's Day, but I kind of think I might just get this white one. I got my candle. They wrapped it all up, so I'm not going to open it, but we will light it later. Now we're going to go to Target, and we're going to see if we can find the special edition of Onyx Storm. I didn't try going the day the copy was released, but we're going to go now. It says on the Target app that they have a few copies. I am kind of worried though, because this specific Target location is just not up to date on what's actually in stock. So I don't know if I should trust it. Okay, maybe I should just go to a different Target, but I am closest to the unreliable Target right now, and I feel like I'm just going to go try. If it's not there, that's fine. Okay, we can always go to another Target tomorrow, but we're going to give it a shot. Shower curtain, Onyx Storm. What's so funny is I don't even own the first 2 copies of that series. Like, I don't own Fourth Wing and I don't own Iron Flame because I read them both on Kindle Unlimited. So I do need to buy the first 2 copies of the series. I've been kind of holding off on buying books until we get the bookshelves up, which I don't need to do. Like, obviously I can just buy them and add them to the rest of the books that are also on the floor. I don't think I've bought a single book since I've moved here. I don't think I have. But I also got my Kindle like a week after I moved here. Like, I got it for my birthday on August 1st and I got here like last week of July. So I have been just obsessed with my Kindle for the past couple couple of months. Like I said in my last vlog, like I haven't read a physical book in so long. Like it felt so weird to read a physical book in my last video. So I haven't really felt inclined to buy a book. I just like love my Kindle. But I do want to buy this book because I don't think Onyx Storm is available on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm not going to buy it on Kindle. Like I'd rather just buy the physical copy because it is so pretty. And I do plan on buying the first 2 books in the series because Fourth Wing, 5 stars. 5-star book for me. Iron Flame, still a great book. Not as good as Fourth Wing, but it was like a 4-star. It was a 4-star book. Onyx Storm, have no clue what it's going to be, but I love the series in general, so I do want to own all 3 books. There were other books that I read in 2024 that I was so obsessed with that I don't own physical copies of those either, so I do want to buy physical copies of all of those books. Like I don't own a copy of Wellness by Nathan Hill, and I'm completely addicted to Wellness by Nathan Hill. Like it is such a 5-star, 6-star book, and I don't own a copy of it, which is crazy. But I also want to wait until we have our bookshelves up. It's going to be way more fun when I actually have a place to put them. So coming soon, me spending too much money on books that I've already read just because I want to look at them because they're 5 stars and I just want to see them up there on my bookshelf. But that's half the fun of reading, is like collecting books and like looking at them up on a shelf and being like, oh, I love that. Isn't that so pretty up there on that shelf? That's such a gorgeous book. It's such a gorgeous story. It looks so stunning. Once our bookshelves are up, we're going to have to do a video about buying all of my 5-star books to add to my bookshelf collection. That sounds so fun. But I've held off for a while because a few of those books, like Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I really wanted to buy back in LA. Like I read that when I was still in Los Angeles and I wanted to buy the physical copy back then, but I was like, I think I'm moving, so I don't want to buy this yet because that's just more shit for me to deal with. So I've held off for several months, y'all. First book I'm buying in 2025 and first physical book I'm buying in a while, hopefully today, is Onyx Storm. There it is. Wow. Okay, they have a lot. They have like merch. That's funny. It's so pretty. Actually, how many pages is it? I want to see how many pages it is, but I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, it looks like it's like 500 something, like 530-ish. I could buy Iron Flame. I don't even see Fourth Wing. Cute. Why is it already 30% off? Book has been secured. I'm looking at the shower curtains now. I feel like I'm just gonna get this plain one. $10, not that crazy of an investment if I plan on replacing it soon. Last night in bed, I was scrolling on TikTok looking at Onyx Storm stuff, which is a dangerous game. I shouldn't have been doing that. Like I will see a spoiler if I continue to do that, but I really just wanted to see people going to the store to buy copies of Onyx Storm, and I just wanted to see all the different variations, all the different limited editions. I did not know, which I'm sure some of you are very much aware of this, but I did not know that there was a different limited edition at Target. Like I thought the one that I got with the sprayed edges and the dragons all the way down the side, I just thought that that was it. But no, okay, there was one that came out on the 21st that has one dragon on the side with sprayed edges, and then inside, you know, every couple of chapters it has color photos, and that's the one that everybody like woke up at 6 a.m. and waited outside Target to get. I just thought I waltzed in yesterday and got the copy that like everybody wanted. I was like, this is so easy. Maybe that should have been obvious, but yeah, there was a different copy. Honestly, the copy that I got, I like the sprayed edges more on the copy I got. Like I think I like all of the dragons down the side as opposed to the one dragon. Obviously the other book is fun because it has like the color photos in it. Oh, and the Target one also has a bookmark. It also has a little ribbon bookmark. I don't think that one is like significantly better than just the other one. I do think it has this element of like, that's the one that everybody wants and that's the one that everybody's coveting, that I'm like, wait, should I want that one too? Because I was fine with my copy and now I'm like, wait, I didn't know there was one that everybody like decided was the better version. I did look at the Target app last night, okay? And it says that they still have the Target one in stock, the Target special edition. I don't know if that's a lie, because like I said, that location, very unreliable. It says that they have stuff in stock and sometimes they don't. So I'm like, that might not be true. But also I didn't really look that hard at all of the books that were up there because I just saw the one with the sprayed edges and I grabbed it. Like I wasn't really looking that hard. I also found it interesting there wasn't like a specific display. Like I've seen videos where there's like a specific like cardboard display with all of the fancy books. I'm like, maybe that was somewhere else in the Target. I don't really care. Like I don't feel the need to have that version, but I'm also just like really curious. Like I'm like, wait, do they have it in stock? Because it says that they have it in stock, and like, should I? So that was last night. I was really going down a rabbit hole of all of the different special editions of Onyx Storm. I really want the special editions of the first and second book because now I just have this third book with these sprayed edges. I don't even own the first two. That's what I really need to be caring about. I will say I do know that Winder Binder in Chattanooga, when I was there over Christmas, they did have Iron Flame, a special edition. I actually didn't look how much it cost because I think it was like kind of on display, and I think it might have been like one of the only copies, so it probably was really expensive. Should have bought that then. Actually, wait, hold on. I think I vlogged a clip while I was in that bookstore. I never included any footage that I filmed over Christmas. Like I was filming stuff and then I decided like, I don't know, it just like didn't fit into a video, and I was like, I don't really want to do all of this. I might have already deleted that footage, but I wish I could look at it. I might have deleted it. Wait, hold on. I think I might have found it. Okay, T, wait, I found it. Oh my God, yes. Oh no, it was a Fourth Wing copy. Fuck, I should have bought this. Here it is. Fourth Wing copy, dragons down the side. I should have bought that. I don't even know what edition that is. Maybe you guys are like, you can literally order that on Amazon. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I know there was an Iron Flame copy though, because it was up by the cashier, and I probably didn't film it because I like was getting afraid of like filming in front of the cashier. I know you guys are dying to know what pair of glasses I got from Warby Parker. I did end up doing a poll on my Instagram story, and I felt kind of silly. I felt kind of silly about this poll, okay? Because if you watch the video, very vulnerable, embarrassing video, if you watch the video, they all look identical. I'm aware. I had a few people DM me being like, hey girl, these all look the same. Hope that helps. And I get it. I understand. I'm totally on the same page. They are kind of identical, but also they are all different, and that's why they sell all three, but also they're kind of the same. And the polls very much reflect that sentiment, okay? Very even race. That was my favorite pair when I was in the store, and looking back on the video, like again, all very similar, but I don't know, there's just something about them that I like. It says it's gonna take 7 to 10 days to get them. I'm really excited. I feel like it's gonna be the kind of thing, like I'm just gonna throw them in my purse, you know, like if I go to the movies, I'll wear them at the movies. If I'm, you know, like at a soccer game and I can't see the score on the scoreboard, not that I'm going to any soccer games, but just an example, I'll have them in my purse and I'll put them on, and I won't have to ask anyone or take a photo on my phone and be like, hey, like what's the score? I can't see. Also, I'm not embarrassed to admit that I am very excited for the aesthetic of it all. POV me wearing some cute ass tortoise glasses, reading a book like that, that's gonna be kind of a look. This bracelet keeps catching on this robe. I really love this bracelet, but the guitar charm always catches on stuff. My sister got me this bracelet for Christmas. It's like a Taylor Swift inspired bracelet, and every single charm is one of her eras. It doesn't have every single charm of every single album, but it has like Midnights, Lover, a little heart, a guitar, a leaf, a disco ball. It has 5 charms. I don't know if you can pick the charms, if she picked the charms. It's very, very cute. I love it so much, but I'm just so scared that this guitar charm is gonna catch on something and I'm gonna rip it and then the bracelet's gonna break. I'm really scared that's how it's gonna break one day. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of reading. Piglet is on my January TBR. I actually started this book, I think end of November, beginning of December, and I read like the first few chapters, like I think like 2-3 chapters, like not in that deep, and then I just stopped. I don't know, I just stopped. I think like Christmas came around and like that was all busy, and I don't know, I just stopped. And so then obviously I just like restarted it completely again. Piglet's a book I've really looked forward to reading because it's just been recommended to me so many times, and it's a book that's in that category that I love. Girl who doesn't know what she's doing, girl potentially throwing her life away, girl having problems with her love life, but not necessarily a romance book. Like, I just love a girl who's going through it. This book is about a girl named Piglet. Her entire family calls her Piglet. Her friends call her Piglet. I actually don't even think you like learn her real name. Maybe you do at some point, but like the whole time everyone's calling her Piglet. She's engaged to a guy named Kit. The chapters are labeled in a way where it's like 14 days, 10 days, 2 days, and that's like the countdown to their actual wedding day. And I think around like 14-ish days in, I can't remember what chapter exactly, but her fiance tells her something. He did something bad, and he tells his fiance, you know, 2 weeks before the wedding, and is like, well, do you still want to get married? And you as the reader are like, is this wedding gonna happen? And so that's kind of the vibe of the book. One of the chapters is titled 0 Days, which I guess is the wedding day. So you do get to the wedding day. I just want to see how it all goes down. I'm just gonna lay here and read a little bit, and I'm gonna find out, are they gonna stay together? Like, oh my God, I can't even imagine. I'm back at Target. I just want to go in and look. I was already out and about, and I thought, why not just swing by? Let's just take a gander. I have a feeling it's not there. I have a feeling that the app is wrong. We're gonna go in and look. What do we have to lose? I also need to get more deodorant. It's 60 degrees again today. I truly do not understand. Okay, no, the app is wrong. It's just a bunch of these copies. Every single one of them. Here's one that doesn't have anything. Damn. Okay, well that's fine. I should have known. Okay, it does say that it has some at the Midtown location. And I'm like, okay, maybe that one's telling the truth, because I think that that location is more reliable. But also I don't really care. I just wanted to come see. Now we gotta go get deodorant. I got a few packages and I thought we could open a few things on camera. Don't mind the frame still on the ground. Don't mind the books still on the ground. We are actually in the middle of working on the shelves. We're sanding out back. So if you hear some sanding, that's what's going on. I do have a lot of sawdust on me. Actually, you can probably see it on my leggings a little bit more. I thought it would be fun to open a few of these things on camera. I actually have already opened one of them. First package that I got that I already opened up, but I didn't open up all of the little pouches on the inside. It's from this brand, Machete. They emailed me because they're actually based in Atlanta or right outside of Atlanta, and all of my moving vlogs, I was wearing one of their clips. They were like, oh my God, you're wearing one of our clips. Would you like a few more? And I said, yes, that is literally so sweet of you guys. So they sent me a bunch of cute little clips. I feel like their main thing is hair clips, but they have a bunch of other stuff too. But yeah, they have like so many different variations of hair clips, and I feel like, you know, it's hard to find a good hair clip that's like sturdy but cute. This hair clip, this is pretty similar to the one I wore in the moving vlogs. They gave me one of these little clip barrette things, very cute. You guys know I love Baggu. I feel like I talk about my Baggu bags all the time. I wear my Baggu bag in all of my videos. Some socks. I didn't even know that they made socks, honestly. This little mini bag. I think people use this as like a charm on your bag. You just clip it on, which is pretty funny. Keychain lanyard thing. A bunch of reusable bags in a bunch of different sizes. This is a fun pattern. Oh my God, I have that exact headband. They sent me this kind of mustardy yellow bag. This is so sweet. This is the same size as the green Snoopy bag that I wear a lot. Last but not least, they sent me a puffy glasses sleeve, which is actually so perfect and topical for this vlog because I can put my new Warby Parker glasses in this glasses case. Thank you, Baggu. I mean, goes without saying, I'm like one of your biggest fans. So I'm so excited to have another bag in this size because this is a great size bag for vlogging. Like I have to have a bag that I can throw my camera in and my keys and my wallet and my phone. I've been using my Snoopy bag a lot because it holds all of those things, but it is giving like a little bit more Christmas holiday because it's green and red. This will be great heading into the spring. Gotta hook this charm on here. I don't know if I'm supposed to hook it right there, but that's pretty funny. Hi guys, I'm just gonna be up front, okay? It is the middle of February. It is the middle of February. I dropped the ball. How else do I say it? I dropped the ball. Life got hectic and I am behind. I'm behind on things, okay? We don't have to dwell on it. We are just going to power on through. Speaking of power, I actually started Powerless this morning. I did not get to that in January. I didn't get to a lot of things in January. Sometimes life gets busy and you forget that you have a YouTube channel that you need to upload on, you know? I need a microphone, okay? I always talk into my phone, my little like voice memo app on here, and I love doing that. I can't really explain like why it happens sometimes and why it doesn't, but like right now, I need to talk into my phone. Like it just feels right. Oh my God. Not even stating the obvious. My glasses came. Aren't they so cute? They might have a little reflection from the window in them. That is one thing that I've noticed. I don't know if it's like the blue light anti-fatigue thing that like causes the reflection. These are my glasses. These are the Jillian frames. As I told you guys, I love them. I'm obsessed with them. What a way to end this vlog with me going to find the glasses, ending them with the glasses. That's because this vlog was filmed over the course of 3 weeks. I don't know. I started filming the beginning of this vlog like 2 weeks ago. Again, life got busy. We're not going to dwell on it. And now here we are, middle of February, and I'm just now doing my January wrap up. So hopefully you guys don't hate my guts, okay? Hopefully you stick around. We promise to be better in the future. March is going to be my month. Back to me talking into my phone all the time. I think I want to get a microphone. Okay, I've been wanting to get a microphone for some time, but I just like never pulled the trigger. I can talk to my phone, you know, and like the audio quality is just as good, but sometimes I love the look of a microphone. It just looks official. You know, sometimes I see other people filming and talking into microphones. Obviously podcasts, they talk into microphones. We're not going to be doing a podcast over here, but sometimes I just love the look of it. You know, even if it's not a podcast, sometimes I just want to talk into a microphone. Okay, so coming soon, me potentially investing in a microphone. Doesn't it feel like I should be holding a real microphone? It does. And I think this every single time, this would look better with a microphone. It would look better with a microphone. Okay, maybe in 2025, that's the change that we make. Let's get to the point of why we are actually here, which is my January wrap up. Okay, in the middle of February. Not dwelling on it. I had 6 books on my January TBR. Okay, TBR by definition, to be read. That does not mean you're going to get through all of them. I really wanted to do my best to read a good amount. The one book that I did not finish was Powerless. That will be in my February wrap up. I will be honest, 2 of these books, Ministry of Time and Piglet, I actually finished in February, but I am going to include them in this January wrap up because, I don't know, y'all, I'm a liar. What do you want me to say? Just go to Goodreads and you'll see how behind I am on everything. That's The Tell is my Goodreads account. First book that we'll be talking about is The Wedding People, which I actually talked about in a vlog a while ago. So you guys kind of already know my thoughts on it. So I'll just breeze through this a little bit quicker. But The Wedding People is about a girl named Phoebe. Phoebe plans on staying at the Cornwall Inn for one night. And upon arrival, she realizes that there's a wedding taking place there. It's supposed to only be wedding guests staying at this hotel for the entire week. They're all booked there for a week leading up to the weekend of the wedding. And Phoebe is the only person staying there that's not a part of the wedding party. So she keeps getting mistaken as someone who's a part of the wedding party, and she's like, no, I'm actually I'm just here. Very early on in the book, the bride and Phoebe get in an elevator and they have a conversation that's kind of the conversation that really hooked me into the story. Phoebe says something to the bride that I can't tell you guys, but after she said that, I was completely hooked and I was like, where is this story gonna go? The relationship between the bride and Phoebe is very funny because Phoebe is there alone. She doesn't know anyone. She also recently separated from her husband, and so she's very lonely in all aspects of her life. She's alone in this hotel, not knowing anyone. And then you have the bride who knows everyone there and like is trying to put on this perfect event and feels the pressure from her family and is trying to be this picture perfect bride. And she can kind of only tell Phoebe how she's feeling. Having the juxtaposition of someone who is at the lowest place in their life and then someone who is approaching the happiest day of their life, someone who is recently separated from their husband, someone who's about to get married. You have these two women coming from two different places, and it's just devastating and funny and heartwarming, and there's just like a lot of good life lessons. I'm actually going to read you guys a quote that I included in my Goodreads review because I loved it so much, and I read this and I was like, yeah, there's a bit of Phoebe in all of us, okay? She gives up trying to feel like she's in a painting. She doesn't have to be beautiful in this moment. She doesn't have to be anything ever. Her husband is not watching. Her father is not watching. Nobody was ever really watching except Phoebe. Phoebe was the only person waiting in the dark to condemn herself for every single thing when the day was over. We are the only person who is being so fucking critical of every single thing that we do. No one is watching you as much as you think that they are. Like, you are the only one who is perceiving yourself as hard as you are. Come and Get It by Kiley Reid. I have definitely talked about the synopsis of this book several times on this channel. So set in 2017 at the University of Arkansas. One of the main characters is Millie Cousins, who is an RA in one of the dorms on campus. Agatha Paul and Millie get to know each other because Agatha Paul is a professor, but she's also a writer. She's published books and she is kind of doing research for her next book. And Millie and her kind of have a partnership going on because Agatha is like interviewing students about ideas behind marriage and money and life, whatever. She's just like talking to these young students to see their perspective on life. And they basically have a partnership going where Agatha will come to the dorm, talk to these girls. She'll give Millie a little bit of money, and that's kind of it. This book is not a plot heavy book, okay? If you're the kind of person that needs a very plot driven book, this book is not for you. I personally can fuck with a book that's not very plot heavy, okay? Sometimes I'm obsessed with it. Like, I love a book that feels like it's meandering and is a little bit pointless and it's just kind of like portraits of people. I can fuck with that. Not to say that there's not a plot. Like, there is stuff happening, but it's not a very plot heavy book. Like, you'll get halfway through the book and you'll be like, wait, what? What's the point? Where's the plot? Where's the climax? Like, where's the denouement? Like, I don't really see what I'm reading about. You learn a lot about the two characters I just talked about, Millie and Agatha, but there are these other characters, which are girls in the dorm. I loved reading about Kennedy and Tyler. There are other people in the dorm that you learn about, like RAs, other just, students living in the dorm, but I loved Kennedy and Tyler the most because they felt the most absurd, but they also felt like girls that I also lived in a dorm with at one point, if that makes sense. Like, I loved this book because it really got me back in the headspace of like being in college and like living in a dorm and just like the different characters in the dorm. Kennedy is the kind of girl that you definitely see at a school in the South where, the mom comes in and like sets up her room to be perfect, kind of like the faux headboard on the extra long twin bed, the monogram on the wall, like the chevron throw pillows. It's 2017. Remember 2017, like a cute rug. You know what I'm talking about? Like bringing the little pad to put on the chair and the desk, like really just like doing it up in a very like over the top Southern preppy way and like kind of coddling her daughter. That's Kennedy's character. Before I went to school freshman year, I was very aware of this style of dorm room because I saw it all over Pinterest. You guys know what I'm talking about, or maybe you don't. Maybe you aren't aware of this and this is just like a personal experience being from Tennessee and like seeing all of these dorm rooms like in SEC schools and stuff. I loved learning about Kennedy because her archetype was something I was so familiar with, but as you learn more about her and you learn more about like why she transferred and like she has a hard time making friends and just what's going on in her mind, I really felt for her. And actually, like, I was obsessed with Kennedy. Like, I really wanted to give her a big hug. As annoying as she might seem on the surface, Tyler's character is another girl that I also definitely knew in college, the kind of girl that is obsessed with dogs. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I feel like I love dogs. I grew up with a dog. I have 2 beagles right now. Like, I've had 3 dogs in my home over the span of my life. My family loves dogs. We are dog people. I got to college freshman year, and people really love to make dogs their personality. And I just feel like I wasn't aware of that until I got to school. If a dog passes me on a sidewalk, I'll pet a dog. I did not know that there are some people that would like physically cross the street to pet someone's dog. I loved reading about Tyler because she is constantly talking about dogs. I feel like Kiley Reid like reached into my head and like plucked these 2 characters from my mind because I could not have thought of like 2 more funny stereotypes that I encountered in college. Southern belle with mom that threw up all over her room, and a girl obsessed with dogs. I'm really focusing in on these 2 characters, Kennedy and Tyler, because they were my favorite aspects of the book. But, you know, the book has, again, not the heaviest plot, but there is some sort of a plot that I'm honestly not even really talking about right now because I was just obsessed with reading about Kennedy and Tyler and then like living in this suite together. That was like my favorite part of the entire book. My camera just died. I'm so sorry. I could go on and on about every single character in this book. I'm not going to. Those are my 2 favorite characters. But if you want to read a book that's not very plot heavy, about a bunch of different characters thrown into a space together, very different personalities, very different socioeconomic backgrounds. College obviously is the first time that you kind of get thrown together with different personalities, people coming from different backgrounds, people that view the world differently, and it's funny and interesting to see how all of those people interact in a small space. I really liked this book. I had a fun time. 4 stars. The next book that I read was Cleopatra and Frankenstein. This book is about a girl named Cleo who is 24 years old. She's from England and she lives in New York City. Cleo meets Frank. Frank is 20 years older than her. They get married and it's very rushed, but they get married because Frank wanted to offer Cleo a little bit of stability. Obviously, she's not from America, so she couldn't stay here forever. Staying in America, money that she wouldn't have. They get married pretty early on in the book, and then you just kind of see their relationship after that. This book is similar to Come and Get It in the sense that, like, I feel like you're getting a lot of character descriptions. Like, for instance, you get this chapter about one of Cleo's best friends, Quentin, and he's like at a bar or something, and he ends up going home with this guy, and you like see them hook up, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, it was one of my favorite chapters. Like, I found it like really interesting, and I really wanted to learn more about him. And then you just don't learn anything else about him, which was kind of annoying because at first the chapter was out of nowhere, and then I was hooked in it, and I was like, okay, great. Like, thank you for giving me this random chapter. And then I just got nothing else. Frank's sister, she's kind of like in the background of some chapters, and then you eventually do learn more about her. And I was like, okay, well, is this going to be like the Quentin chapter where I just don't learn anything more about Frank's sister? But then you actually do learn more about her, and she becomes more of like a main character. But for some reason, I liked it in Come and Get It. Like, I was kind of fine with that, but I did not like it in Cleopatra and Frankenstein. Honestly, probably because like you would get a chapter about like Quentin and then you'd get nothing else. And I feel like Come and Get It, you kind of got to come back to the same characters a few times. Cleopatra and Frankenstein, I feel like you just get introduced to these characters and then they were gone. Like, it just felt a little bit more touch and go. I liked the first half of the book, and then the second half of the book was just like, I don't know, it just like completely lost me. Come and Get It, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't mind a book that's not plot heavy. And then going into Cleopatra and Frankenstein, I was like, wait, I actually do kind of mind now. I do still want to read Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors because I think I'll like it. You know, I'm not against, you know, a less plot heavy book, and I think that she's a good writer. There was a lot of stuff that I was highlighting, so I will still be trying out Blue Sisters, and a lot of people have said that they like that more than Cleopatra and Frankenstein. So, next book is The Ministry of Time. This is a book that I have seen everywhere. I have seen this cover everywhere. I think it's a gorgeous cover. I love the letters. I love the colors. It's a stunning book. This book is set in the near future, that's what it says, where time travel is possible. There's a recently established government ministry who is gathering expats from across time. Basically, the government is plucking people from different moments in time where they would have died anyway, so they're not going to mess anything up like over the course of history and like, you know, have some crazy effect if they like take this person from the past and bring them to the future. Our main character is a bridge who is working at the Ministry of Time to help these expats assimilate to today. We actually never learn the main character's name, which is really frustrating, so we're just going to call her the Bridge. Our main character is paired up with Commander Graham Gore, who is from 1847. They get paired up together. They're living together. You see her teach him about Spotify and washing machines, and like he sees London in today's time, and he's like, wow, this is really populated. This is crazy. This book is pitched as a romance novel, and I love a romance book that has to do with time travel, like Time Traveler's Wife. I forget when I read that, but I read that at some point in my life, and I loved that book. This book is a romance book, but it's also like not not a romance book at all, which a few of you actually warned me about this. You were like, this is not a romance book. They pitched this book as a romance book for some reason, and it's definitely more of like a spy conspiracy government hoax kind of thing. I feel like this book is actually pretty polarizing. Like, I think a lot of people like this book. I personally did not see the hype. I think because I went in wanting it to be more of a romance book, and you just aren't really getting much of that. And even when you are getting some of the romance, I just like truly did not like the narrator. My favorite parts of this book were the chapters where you go back in time and you actually see Commander Graham Gore. You see him with his army, with his crew, like on this ship. They're stranded. They're trying to find food. You see him in those moments, and those are my favorite moments, reading about his life in 1847. And then I liked all the parts where you see the expats learn about the modern world, because that's just like kind of funny. Like, it's kind of interesting to think about like how different the world would be to someone if they like just showed up in today's time. Like, they would be so fucking confused. And so all of those moments were really interesting, but I just did not love the narrator. I did not like the romance that we were getting. And then the last part of the book, like the last third, was so jam-packed with action. The pacing of that was so different from the rest of the book. And also, that element of the book isn't even why I picked up the book. All this to say, I did not really love this book, okay? And I felt kind of crazy while I was reading it. I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to like this. And it was very upsetting because the ideas were there. Like, this premise for a book, loved it. Like, I've been looking at this book for so long. I've wanted to read this book for so long because the cover is gorgeous. The premise of the book is great. And I'm really sad that it just didn't work with me. It didn't work with me. So 2.5 stars. I already told you guys what this book was about, but one thing that I didn't include was Piglet works at a cookbook publishing house, I believe. She works in the cooking world. She also cooks a lot herself. So a lot of the chapters are descriptions of food. She's always cooking something, and you're getting really in-depth descriptions about what she's doing and what she's cooking. She clearly loves food. She works in food. She loves cooking, but it's clear that her relationship with food is not normal and is not entirely healthy. You're seeing her struggle with her romantic relationship, which is the main point of the book, like what her fiance has told her. Is she going to go through the wedding? Blah, blah, blah. But you're also seeing her struggle with food. So she's struggling with these two things, and it's interesting to see how the author kind of weaves them together, which, no spoilers, but like, for instance, she is making her wedding cake. It's not actually a wedding cake. It's like some other fancy dessert, but like, she decides to make her wedding cake for her wedding. And so you're seeing her deal with like this food issue as she's dealing with like the issue of the wedding. I think this book was fantastic. This is kind of not shocking at all. Like, this is a book that has my name written all over it, which I already kind of told you guys. Like, I knew I was going to like this book. From the moment I started reading it, I was like, yeah, like, this book, this is a Sally Darr book. Like, there's never been a more Sally Darr book. No notes, except I do have one note, which if you've read this book, you know what it is. It's a very frustrating aspect of this book. Again, I can't tell you, but if you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. And this specific frustration could be enough for someone to rate this book lower. Honestly, I was considering it. I was like, okay, this actually might have to make this book like 4 stars. But I also love this book, and I understand kind of why the author did it, even though it does piss me off, okay? And immediately after finishing the book, I was like Googling like things about this thing to be like, okay, what are other people saying about this? And it seems to be a common frustration with readers. But nevertheless, I still love this book, okay? I loved everything about this book up until the final page. And then I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Really? Are you kidding me? I'm going to have to personally email the author to be like, hey, you can't do that. You can't do that to us, actually. You can't do that. It's a 5-star book. It's a 4.5-star book, depending on how angry I am about this one thing. You know, it goes either way. I did not get to Powerless on my January TBR, so we are pushing that to February. Here is my February TBR. I know it is halfway through the month, and February also is the shortest month. Look forward to the February wrap-up if you want to read any of these books and kind of read along with me. Hopefully I do February in a little bit more of a timely manner. Thank you for sticking with me. Obviously, this is a new thing that I'm doing. I did not do this in 2024, so there are going to be some hiccups, okay? You can follow me on all of my other socials. Obviously, I did not post on here for about 20 days, so if you're ever curious what I'm up to in between uploads, go look elsewhere. I've been obsessed with Snapchat specifically. I can't stop posting on Snapchat. It's so fun. If you want to see what I'm up to every second of the day, go look at Snapchat. If you want to see cute photos, then I would go look on Instagram. You guys know what all the platforms do. I don't need to explain every single platform to you guys. Anyways, I think with all of that self-promotion, I think with that, this is goodbye. I need to edit this video and upload it pretty much immediately. Like, today. So I need to stop talking.